7 p.m. on a Saturday evening, and the dinner table is overflowing with food. Every dish on that table is prepared by a different family member. Okay, I want to imagine my family has 4 sub-families, okay? We have the Yos, the Chans, Fernandezes, and the Lims. Now, the Yos love to bring something that's simple, like a steamed fish or a stir-fried veggie. While on the other hand, the Chans, and my mom right here, she presents one of the most exciting, exhilarating dishes that you can find on the internet. The Fernandezes, on the other hand, they prepare something that's umami-packed, like a rich meat. And Popo, who is my beloved grandaunt, who represents the Lims, always brings a classic Peranakan dish. And those little containers of homemade sambal and condiments. So all 20 of us, we gather around the table and we take turns scooping our food. And there's the oldest person in my family. He's 86, by the way, that's my grandfather. You'll see him trembling a little bit, trying to scoop the curry. He spills something on the table, and on the other end of the table, you see someone who's 8. My youngest cousin, and he's just tiptoeing so he can scoop the rice. And once all is said and done, we all scoop our food, and when we're ready, we all makan. And in a very classic Asian style, the children on one table and the adults on the other. Yeah? That's how we begin our Saturday potlucks every single week. For a long time, I thought it was overstimulation. Okay, I want you to imagine it's 20 people in one room and it's too much noise. Okay, I'm an introvert, and for me, it's very easy to just stay at home, order a tapao, sit down and watch my K-dramas. I think dedicating an entire night on a Saturday just for these loud, chaotic gatherings, it feels entirely unnecessary at times, but I didn't really understand it until now. Upon reflection, I realized these weekly dinners were actually a blueprint for true resilience. Now, the very first thing that my family fights for, I think, is presence. True presence. In the world that we live in today, it's very easy for us to become shells of ourselves at the dinner table. We are distanced from our family members by what we know as our phones. These screens become walls between us. But every single dinner, my family fights quietly a battle against this disconnection. We set aside our phones, we all huddle around the table, 20 of us, and we just talk. Simple but meaningful talk. The interesting thing is that for context, my family, like I said, spans across generations. You've got baby boomers, Gen X, Y, Z, Alpha, and there's bound to be massive age gaps, right? I want to imagine 80 years age gaps. But the special thing is that we don't let this generational divide exist within us. One of the funniest things that I've seen is my 86-year-old grandfather. He has a great love for poetry, sing lit, he's a poet himself. And one time he tried to get my younger cousin, who's 8 years old and probably hasn't touched a book in his life, to read this poem that he wrote. And I think he felt so much connection to the poem. He was trying to explain it to my cousin, and my cousin didn't understand the thing he was saying. He was like, "Oh, Robert, I don't know what you're talking about. I only read Captain Underpants. What's this about?" And I could see that the two of them were struggling to connect with one another. But it was really beautiful that despite their awkwardness, that disconnection, they tried anyways to talk to one another. It showed me that every member of the family plays a part. Whether it's the kids trying to dance around and entertain the adults, or even the grandfather trying to share their grandmother stories and their words of wisdom. Everyone is trying to fight that gap, and I think it's incredibly special. Another way that my family fights for another way that they should show their resilience actually is how we protect our heritage. We have a very stubborn, unmoving respect for our Peranakan roots. You must have this specific ayam bakar recipe on the dinner table. Kueh salad is a must-have dessert on our table. And every single girl in our family has to own this specific sarung kabaya from Little India. Yeah? Sometimes it can be a bit annoying, restricting for someone who wants to be a bit more modern. But I think it's allowed me to see the richest and coolest parts of our heritage. And thanks to them, I've never been prouder to be called a Baba Nyonya. Our traditions and celebrations are actually quite predictable. Every single year, same place, same time, same food, prepared by the exact same people. We have many traditions. Chinese New Year, National Day, New Year's Eve, even Christmas. But I want to share my favorite. My personal favorite is Chinese New Year mornings at my grandaunt's house. It's the exact same menu. Okay, we all gather for breakfast and we have Nyonya chicken curry, prata, pongteh, suji cake. But my personal favorite has to be the handmade candle tarts. It's perfectly brown, golden. The moment you bite into it, just melts in your mouth, and it's never too sweet. And I really love it because the moment you step into the house, that is the very first thing you smell. It just fills you with so much warmth. And this recipe actually has been passed down for generations since my great-grandmother. And my grand-aunt makes like 200 of these over a span of 2 days, all just to give it away to friends, family, neighbors that she sees, even some random church priests that she knows. And I think it's beautiful that even though this is a culture that we so want to deeply protect, she's so willing to just share it with the people around her. And she's fueled by this strong resilience and passion for preserving a tradition that maybe many don't hold it in their heart anymore. And I think as this is a youth group, right, maybe some of us find that we're losing our roots. We don't have so much connection to the history that has tied us all together. And perhaps you keep chasing for trend after trend. But my family has shown me that there's really something special in being able to honor your roots and hold true to the history that comes with it. The ultimate test of my family's resilience, actually, it wasn't when it was perfect or smooth sailing. It was when things were messy and broken. Like some of you mentioned earlier, COVID-19 has been one of the biggest hurdles in our trajectory of our history, right? And it was definitely the greatest hurdle in my family's life. Can you imagine we gather every single Saturday and then suddenly you can't see each other anymore? Like, you can only text, you can only call, and it was like this ritual was ripped away from us. But what my family did next Saturday was extremely remarkable. Every single Saturday, we kept up with the tradition. Even though we couldn't meet face to face, we met on Zoom. We ate together, we chatted together, even prayed together, just so that we can show up for one another. I think this is what it means to truly seek connection. That even when you're bound by boundaries, you still urge and desire to talk with one another. Real relationships definitely aren't without conflict, right? I want you to imagine 20 people, so many different conflicting interests, right? There's bound to be fights. People come with their burdens. It's workplace anxiety, burnout, depression, anxiety. Some people, because they're so overwhelmed, they want to leave. They can't stand this family connection. It's like a responsibility that's tied to them. But the good thing about my family is that we choose talking over silence. We bring back all the burdens and our struggles to this very potluck table. Even though some people, they try to leave, they try to isolate themselves, every single one of us, the oldest, the youngest, does their best to urge them back, invite them back to a place that they know they can call home. And so I think it's really special that this family is a place that you can even be tired, you can unload your burdens and know that you always have your place at this table. Admittedly, I know I speak from a place of privilege, right? Not everyone can call their family a true home. Some of us have perhaps been isolated, hurt, or humiliated by the people who were supposed to love us the most, and maybe your story doesn't look like mine. But what these 3 generations, or many generations of my family has taught me is this, that sometimes we can't choose the circumstances or the family that we're born into, right? But we have all the capacity, all the power to take control or navigate this relationship that we have. And the world today tells us that when things get difficult, let's just walk away. That's the best thing we can do. But every single time I see my family, the thing that they've taught me is to stay. Because strength, is found when people stick together, even in the darkest of times. I'm very happy to say that today's a Saturday, and after this, I'll actually be heading back for another potluck. Today is at my family's house. And during this event, we will be fighting against disconnection. It will be every single second that we spend together will be a fight for presence, for bigger tables where presence, culture, and people can belong and stay with one another. And so that is why my Saturdays are for potlucks. Thank you.